Hi, Caracan team. This is a little bit of a different video to what I would usually do, a bit of a different background. I'm sitting on my veranda at home, and I've been thinking about something to share with you guys for some time. I realise I haven't been as active in connecting with videos of late. Firstly, I hope that you're well. I hope that you're looking after yourself. I know we're kind of going to a busy time of year, and Christmas can be a time of year and the months leading up that's different for all of us. I just want to say, firstly, I hope that you have earmarked the 29th of November at 6 p.m., which is a Saturday, for our Caracan Christmas party. We would just love to have you all there. Really encourage you to come if you can. Come and connect. It's time for us to spoil you and to say thank you, and we hope that you can join us. I wanted to share with you something that I've been debating whether to share or not. Um, Often I'll share updates and things about work, but I'm going to just be a little bit human with you here because I think about our values of connection, inclusion, resilience, and the fact that they're not just relevant in a workplace, but I think they're universal for life. And I had an experience recently that really reminded me of how these values are so foundational to how I want to live my life, at least. I was at the shopping centre recently in our local neighbourhood, and I was going to Coles. And as I came out and went back to my car, I saw a an older man who was lying on the ground, and he wasn't moving, and there was people walking around him as if he wasn't there. And at first, I got in the car and thought, "Oh, I'm sure someone's going to give a hand," and so I started to drive off, thinking that he would be okay. And then I realised that maybe that's not for me to consider, assume or think that someone else is going to do it. And what opportunity do I have? So I turned around and went back. And as I approached this man, he was clearly not moving and he was in a rough way. And I kind of tapped him on the shoulder, and slowly he came to. And instantly he got up. It was sat up, I should say. And it was clear that he was injured. It was clear that he'd been sleeping rough. And immediately a tear rolled down his face and he said, "I can't do this anymore." And the first thing I thought to myself is sit down next to this guy, get on his level, and just listen. And he started to share his story that he'd been kicked out of his home, that he had some altercations on the streets while sleeping rough, and he did not have the ability to go on. When it was time, I felt it was right, I put my hand out to him and I introduced and said, "Hey, my name's Cameron," and asked his name. And I was really open with him and said, "I want you to know that you're not alone." And and we talked for about 25 minutes just sitting there next to each other on the concrete while people are walking around looking at me, probably thinking I'm strange. But it was really clear he needed water. He was dehydrated. It was clear he needed to feed. But it was clear he needed some medical help as well. When I asked him about the services that he was connected in with, he didn't want to go there. He's had experiences. He said, "I don't want to do that." He just didn't want to go there. So I realised there was lots that was not in my circle of influence or control. But what was in my influence and circle of control was having a human being in front of me felt seen, having them felt heard, having them not feel judged. I shared some of my story of being homeless because I wanted to take away any sense from him that I might have judgment, and to try and take away that shame, because he was saying that he felt shame. And with some convincing, he allowed me to call the ambulance to get him some support. He didn't want to talk about services. He said, "I'll be fine. I know how to sleep rough." But it was clear he just needed, one, a bed to just rest, but two, someone to check him over because he had some injuries, and three, to have people there for him. The ambulance were good about it. They came, they picked him up, they took him. And I only had half an hour with this man. But the opportunity to be eye to eye on his level, to listen, to validate, to hear his story about how he used to be a professional skydiver, and to take interest in who he was there in that moment. I hope that that was beneficial for him, but I can tell you it was powerful for me. It was a reminder that I don't need to be a CEO or go to work to be able to connect with humans and to be part of a community that can care and see each other in our times of need. And it shaped how I want to continue to move through my own community and relate to the people around me. But it also had a real impact on my wife because she was there as well. And she just observed and she chatted as well to the guy. But then from there, we've seen others in our community that are struggling. My wife has been sharing with me experiences where she stops and she just talks to people and they start to share some of their story and she just holds space for 15 minutes. So I know I can't solve all the world's problems, but I know I can ensure that I bring humanity to those around me. And I don't share this with you because I'm some example. I'm not trying to virtue signal here. I'm just being real and genuine and sharing an experience and reminding us all that connection, inclusion, resilience is something that we can all be a part of and hold a piece of and make real in the lives of those around us in our own communities. And I really appreciate every day what our staff are doing in our frontline services. It was a reminder, the conversations that many of you would have time and time again. Thank you for being part of our mission, our vision, and thanks for taking the time to listen. Appreciate all that you do, and I hope to see you at our Christmas party. Take care, guys.